Welcome to my humble little office. My name is R. Keith Andrews. I'm a spiritual guide and paranormal adept. The journey continues today on June 27th, 2022 at approximately 2:13 p.m. PST. Well, I'm cutting this one real tight because, well, I got to start work in about 45 minutes, so this is really cut short or cut tight. Anyway, the real catch to all of this, when we're looking at wrapping everything together. Okay, now I came back to this world for one primary purpose, and that is to remind virtually everyone in existence that working together we can make this a better world for virtually everybody. But it is going to require a lot of effort. Now, the sad reality of the way that the world is working right now is people are finding new and exciting ways to make themselves separated from other people instead of working towards unity, which so many different people talk about. What we've got is society is tearing itself apart. Okay, we are going backwards with some of the laws that are now being passed or being repealed. We are going backwards in time. Now, you can't physically go backwards, but if you think about it, okay, with the laws that are being repealed in certain countries right now, what's happening is it is setting all of that progress that was made back. Now, its current rate of degradation, society is in serious trouble. Now, I'm not a doomsayer. I am simply pointing out what I'm looking at. This is what I'm seeing. It's simply my opinion. But we've got to really start focusing on the similarities, on what works, on what is combined between people. Okay. Now, I'm fortunate from the standpoint of I've isolated myself pretty seriously. That doesn't mean I'm not affected. Okay, quite the contrary. Because of the fact I can see what's happening, well, we'll put this into perspective for you. Take a look at your life. Are you content with the way your life currently is? Now, you can't really see it because, well, I don't actually have it sorted out yet. But I was asked to put something together here. Where is it? Right there. Let's hope there's no extra insects and what have you in here. Okay. I was asked to get a backdrop for my what do you call it? For my room, so everything doesn't show up behind me. Okay. And so I have done that, but it's a makeshift thing. Okay. And one of the biggest things you got to look at here, and I'm not going to during my normal vlogs, I am going to leave it the way it is because frankly, what this shows you behind me is the changes that are taking place. Now, you'll notice that if you look over here, right there, I had a couple of file folders that were just file folders with the hard copy of the Yldrbac Chronicles in it. I'm now moving them into binders. Okay, but I've got to pick up all the binders I require in order to get everything contained. Now, in order for your life to run smoothly, the first thing you have to do, it's really important that you look in the mirror and go, am I content with my life the way my life is? If the answer is yes, you're in better shape than most. In my case, the answer is no. Okay, there's a lot of things that have to be changed, but it all works together. Okay, and each one of us is responsible for our own little part of the world. Okay, it's not a one-person job to change the path that society is on. Okay, but unfortunately what's happening here is the so-called spiritual and government leaders that are out there. Okay, and unfortunately what I'm seeing is this. The spiritual leaders, instead of promoting unity, promoting equality, which is what they claim to be doing. Okay, what I'm seeing, and this is blatant example. You take a look at the spiritual leaders, at the religious leaders of the Christian faith. Okay, they claim to be looking at world unity. But if that is the case, why, and check it out on the internet, why are there 45,000, approximately 45,000 denominations of the Christian faith across the globe? Okay, if you're aiming at unity, how can you pull that off? Okay, now that's just in one area. Okay, when we look at unity, you look at the laws that governments are passing, they are not being applied to everybody. One of the few laws I know of that applies to pretty much everybody in any country. Okay, and I do mean in the country specifically. Like here in Canada, we're told you have to legally drive on the right side of the road. Okay, i.e., put your passenger against the curb. This is great. Okay, everybody doesn't matter what your income, doesn't matter what your gender, doesn't make any difference. Okay, they all drive on the same side of the road. There are countries that I'm aware of that have not taken that step. Okay, and it would be advisable, in my opinion, because it does bring continuity. Now, the weird part about it is this: when you're running a business, okay, if you're running a restaurant, having people work a stable shift, as in this staff member works Monday to Friday these hours, this one works on Wednesdays, on Wednesday to Sunday on these hours. What you end up with is your staff, first of all, gets into a routine where they can run their part of the business more effectively. The customer gets to know when the waiter or the waitress is there, or when the cook is there, depending on their likes. And again, this brings continuity to the business. Net result, you're going to end up making better profit lines. Yes, you will still have complications, but by setting a schedule up, like for me, okay, I'm running a business from home. But in order to do that effectively, I still require a stable schedule, which, granted, I'm having a lot of trouble focusing on. Of course, I probably have too many things on the go. Okay. But I do have a schedule that I've just started to strive to implement. Things got really sidetracked this morning, which is why I'm cutting it very tight at this point. But I make absolutely certain when I pack it in at night that my entire office desk is cleared. That what I'm working on is easy to work with. Okay, and the reason for that is because by keeping the office running smoothly. Okay, gravity works. By keeping the office running smoothly. There we go. By keeping it moving in the right direction, what happens is I can get more accomplished. Okay, but it takes a certain amount of organization. Now, this is why when I was shown this idea, I was shown this by a millionaire. Okay, I keep a sheet of paper handy that I've got a list of things on it that I write down that this is what I have to deal with. Now, today, I started off first thing this morning. I've got 19 things on my list that have been added. What I did was I started with 3 items. Well, technically I started with 1. But initially I wrote down 3 items that I required to deal with. Okay. Each task being 15 minutes to half an hour in length. Okay. Thus far, I've managed to clear off 15 of them. Okay, I've still got a few left to go today. Getting this recorded was one of them, and of course, posting this when I'm done will be another one. I've still got a few other things, but the trick is get organized. The more organized you are, the more organized your layout, the less clutter you've got, the more effective and the less stress you're going to be under. Okay. But I've always split, like, everything gets built in threes, I found. You as an individual, where it comes to your life, you're essentially the cerebral cortex of your life. Your home is the feeling. That is the way your home feels. When you take a look at the house, that is the layout of the physical construct in which you live or in which you conduct business. Those three aspects are the things that must be kept in balance. Okay, but you keep those in balance, and you'll find your energy level goes up, your stress level goes down. Okay, there are other things that happen, but ultimately your productivity level comes to a beautiful head. And the reality of it is that you're the only one in existence that is going to be able to be successful for you. Okay, one thing I do intend on doing today, okay, is literally, because I know full well, now I've run my business since 2007, but because of the fact, and this was just simple stupidity on my part, in all honesty, because of the fact that I've been working steady with an actual job, I haven't pushed the business very far. Now I've reached a point where it's time to do something with it. Okay, but this applies to your life as well. If you've been sitting on a project for a long time, and perhaps you stopped it because somebody else said it's not good enough, or it's not quite what we consider saleable. Something you must understand, or would be wise anyway. There are approximately, and I am no mathematician in this one, from what I gathered, there are approximately 7.6 billion people on the planet. And given that I've seen that some of what I've seen produced and classified as creative artwork, I look at it going, I would not pay a plug nickel for it. And yet, so many people turn around and become multimillionaires on it. Okay, now they say you cannot make money writing. Try telling that to Stephen King, or I forget what his last name is, what his first name is, but Grissom and McCaffrey, take a look at J.R.R. Tolkien. These are writers that couldn't make money at it. Okay, when you take a look at Gene Roddenberry, it took him years of really pushing the idea that Star Trek, the original series, would fly as a show. Well, gee, I don't know. 1966, I think it was 66 it came out. Okay, until now. Okay, we are looking at just shy of 60 years. Okay, that this industry has flourished. Take a look at Stan Lee, who only just recently passed away. Recently, I think, within the last year or two. Maybe not that long ago. Time is not something I track well. But these are people that got into an industry that said that inherently people go, you can't make money at this. Give up on it. I'm telling you, be careful of how you dig into it, certainly. Okay, do not overextend yourself because it's a long, slow process. But if you put a book on hold, if you put a screenplay on hold because somebody else said it's not good enough, okay, dig your heels in. If you feel that it's something you desire to do, it's absolutely critical you dig your heels in and do not give up on your dreams. Okay, my books, okay, the Yldrbac Chronicles. I wrote the original storyline when I was 15. Okay, now I could have given up at any time. In all fairness, I haven't. In 2019, The Birth of the Wolf Pack came out. In 2021, the sequel, The End of an Epoch, came out. Both are available through authorhouse.com, on Amazon, on Indigo, in chapters. Okay, and of course, any books I've written are listed in a list below this video. Okay, I've got another one coming out, another children's story coming out. Now, where is it? I'm just looking for what I did with it. I don't rightly know, so I'm guessing I pushed it back. Anyway, I wrote a children's story called Mr. Dreamcatcher. Now, it's already in print, it's already available directly through me, but I've got the sequel in the printer in the print house right now. It'll be coming out sometime later this week. Okay, and again, this is a question of decide what you desire in your life. Okay, get a goal in mind. The real catch to making it work is pick a direction that you're content with. Pick something that you personally desire to accomplish. And that's what you focus on. And when you get focused to the point you go, I'm going to accomplish this. Then when you get focused on that, the trick is to take a look at whatever is not working for you, is not helping in that effort, and really work to streamline to make it happen. Okay, what you can end up with is this whole setup. Well, where it is, I don't know where it is. What you can end up with, for somebody that, right now, I cannot work in most industries. I've got a leg that doesn't work properly. So sitting down is actually what I end up doing a lot of the time. But for somebody that isn't going to get very far, okay, what's ended up happening, this is something that you may see sooner or later. This. When I mentioned this earlier, it was asked that in order to do online videos for other people, if they desire me on the show, that it would be an idea to get a white backdrop to block out most of what you see behind me. Okay. Now the reality is I will not be setting it up that much, but for those of you that are financially challenged, okay, I can. This is just standard PVC piping. Okay. Now I came up with a design that works beautifully from my end. Okay, and all it really boils down to, I broke it down so I could combine it and still get it and still put it to work. Okay. So what it's going to end up being is I'll take a joiner connection here. Okay. Where this pipe, another one this long, there'll be a second one out this end connected with a T joint. So that I can stand another pipe up on top and run it up behind me. Okay. Net result is that backdrop is going to end up being, well, I've got a bed sheet that I'm going to use draped over it, but it will end up leaving me with a backdrop, with a white backdrop, that it covers most of what you see behind me. Okay. Now this was done on a request, but PVC piping is not that expensive. So when I get this video done today, one of the things I'm going to be dealing with is putting that together, making certain I've got it set properly. Still have to get a lapel mic. Okay, but technology and I have had arguments all along. But like I said, for somebody that I'm not overly well educated, the reality is I absolutely failed college. Okay, I went into college on a scholarship and then promptly failed. Okay, now there's a number of reasons for it. But I don't have the big background education. I don't have this degree in science or in business or anything like that. All I've got is a lot of hard work, a willingness to talk to people that have a better idea of how to make things happen. Okay. And a staggering amount of information sitting around inside my head. Net result, books like this. Okay. I think I've only gotten, I'll have to double check this today as well. This book is a reference manual on different alien races. Okay, that I've personally dealt with. I'm not here to explain and to convince anybody that what I'm looking at is real. Okay, but things like this little book here, Believe in Yourself and Follow Your Dreams, that holds the backbone of how I took my life from a scrambled mess to what I consider an organized chaos. Basically, I got way too many things on the go, and that doesn't seem to be slowing down much. Mind you, in all fairness, up until 3 months ago, I was in the process of actually writing 33 books at the same time. Okay, 33? No, it'd be a little earlier than that. It was 2021, so up until December of last year, I was writing 33 books at once. I am currently writing only 31 because 2 have gone to print. Okay. So, but I did this one. This was Believe in Yourself. This one is Believe in Your Business. And the neat part about it is all of the tools in these books are ones that no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, or how you got to where you are, they will apply, they will work for you. No matter if you're talking a small business, a large business, an intercontinental, it doesn't matter. Okay, the tools are simple, they are replicatable, as is proven by the fact that I've turned around. This one, it's not a bestseller by any stretch. Okay, but if I recall correctly, over the years, I've sold in excess of 400 of these. Okay, and I cannot tell you how many thousands of people I've actually passed the information on to. But it boils down to this. I can give you all the tools in the world. Anybody can give you all the tools in the world. They can be the best tools. It can be the sharpest knife you buy. Like I've seen advertisements for a knife that is extremely sharp. Okay. It can be the best knife in the world if people don't know it's there. Okay. Or if you don't pick it up, if you get one and you don't pick it up, it will never cut anything for you. Same as guns. If you do not pick them up, they will never shoot anybody. This is why I tell people, when people say, "Are you against guns?" Haven't got a thing against guns. Leave them alone, they leave you alone. Most of the time, when you're dealing with the social world, if you leave people alone, they leave you alone. Most of the time. Okay. But what's happened is people have come to this conclusion that you've got this right, you should have this. People are not right now looking at what your obligation is. Now, my obligation as a spiritual guide, as is every spiritual guide's obligation, in my opinion, is when I talk about these are the ways to make your life better, it is my responsibility to make certain that I am using these same tools. And in my case, I am. Okay, you're going to have to take my word for that. But every one of the tools that I offer, if they apply to me, I'm using them. Okay. Now, that said, if you like the video, please do give us a thumbs up. Okay, apparently it has something to do with the algorithm as well. With the algorithm for when videos get shown. Okay, and I'm just looking for something here. Yeah. Right now, I'm still seeing at 279 subscribers, which is about 276 more than I was betting on. And in all fairness, I would have been surprised with that. It took a long time to get to this point. But right now, I am at a point in my life where I've decided it is time to really push the issue and take dominant control over where my life is going. The only way that's going to happen is if I get off my tail feathers and do something with it. The only way you're going to change your life. You can talk about not being happy about your life. You can talk about not being content with your job. Talk about it until the cows come home. The late Robin Williams, fantastic comedian in my opinion. Many people didn't like him, but he made a comment one day that was brilliant. Okay, what he said was there are thousands of plans for peace, but no action. There are thousands of plans out there and thousands of instructions out there on how to be successful. But so many people look at it and go, I'm not, I desire my life to be successful. I desire all the wealth that I can get. I want all these bonuses, I desire all of these luxuries. But I'm not going to change my behavior. I'm going to stay exactly the way I am because I've been told I deserve more. Well, you do deserve more. The problem is, it's up to you to reach out and working with the people that you come in contact with, to reach out and work with them in order to attain that. Okay, for me, it's simple. I desired peace of mind. That was one of my biggest goals when I was a kid. I only had three. Okay, one was to get off this mud ball. Two was to literally turn around and find peace of mind. And three was to see the 22nd century in a reasonably healthy body. Well, here's the thing. I got off the world, as evidenced by a number of corroborating pieces of information. Excuse me. Okay, number of corroborating pieces of information. And, okay, so I managed to pull that off, and this is where the book, The Races of the World, came from. Is the people, the off-worlders I have personally run into. Now, I don't expect you to take this at face value. Okay, absolutely, if you've got questions, drop a line in the comments below, or I've got a list of ways listed under this video that you can get a hold of me, and I will do my best to connect with you. Okay, most questions I will answer. There are certain ones that I won't give you an answer to, but I will tell you I won't give you an answer, which I guess in and of itself is an answer. Okay, but, oh, by the way, this is a live recording, meaning when I get done, I just double check the date, make certain that I've got the date right, and then I just post it as is. If you ever actually run into me in person, okay, you'll find I talk exactly the same way. I do not make any bones about it. I do not put people on a pedestal, and I have refused to be put on a pedestal as best I can. Some people have called me an expert in certain fields. I don't see myself as an expert. Okay, I've got my own experiences. I've taken what I can from them. Okay, and done my best to make my world a little bit more congenial for me and for anybody that interacts with me. But it was funny. I had somebody come into my apartment one day years ago, and his first comment was, "This place is a dump." I looked at him and I said, "You don't like it, you know where the front door is." Well, I saw him again 5 years later. I don't make any bones about it. I'm just the way I am. Now, with that in mind, I'm going to get an idea on paper today and come up with a battle plan where I can actually make this a little bit more cohesive. With that in mind, I will talk to you again tomorrow. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other, and for pity's sakes, stay positive.